All right, that's what I was trying to do. I actually have my wonderful VA on with us, and just to be technical support, because it's a lot going on when we do these live Google Hangouts. So if you've never done one, welcome. You'll see that it is completely live and completely open to what may happen, which is why I have support here with Amy. And so she's going to be helping manage our chat, as well as we're broadcasting live on Facebook. So it's really exciting that you're here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Leslie Hassler. I am with Your Biz Rules. I am a business strategist, time leverage stickler, and the queen of healthy boundaries. And what I do is really act as a business coach for women entrepreneurs to help them revive and reinvent their businesses in a way that gets them past too much to do, making great money, and having enough time left over to spend with their families. So about 4 months ago, I embarked on a mission to really help business owners with the cash in their business. And the best way that I could do that was to share some of the learnings that I had, even 4 years ago, that really turned my business around. The same things that even through those 4 years has enabled me to build a second business and be able to build it with so much more clarity than what I had for my first business. So that's kind of one of the reasons that you're here. You also may be here as part of our bonus of the Blast of Cash series, which we'll tell you a little bit more about later. So either way, welcome. It is a 3-part series. We'll be going through a couple of segments to keep it short, sweet, to the point for you, but also add a lot of value. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our presentation so that we can get that going, and then I'll come back on and we will be trying to answer some of your questions as they come through, either through Google Hangouts or through Facebook. So be sure to give us some comments. Let us know what your questions are as we go through, and we'll do our best to answer those. Okay, so give me a second. Let me switch over to the presentation. We are really going to be here to talk about how you're able to get off the cash roller coaster in your business. So many entrepreneurs are out there are kind of on that feast and famine roller coaster in your business, and it's quite stressful. And the way that we're going to do this is really to talk about the 7 figures to 7 figures. Now, you're really going to be amazed by some of the information that I'm sharing with you and how simple it truly is. So I'm excited. I just had my welcome to a live. Hi. Wow, we're having Amy. It's still coming through, just to let you know. But I will get this. Give me a second. I really can do this. Hi. Amy, can you move? It's still coming through. Thank you. All right, that's what I was trying to do. I actually have my wonderful VA on. There we go. I'm gonna have to say, I have to bring this in. Okay, give me a second, just guys. Let me figure out how this is done. That's what it is. I had the Facebook page up so that I could keep tabs on you, but obviously I'm not supposed to have that up because it started to play. So let me get Amy back in here real quick. I thought it was Amy, but it was me. All right, so anyways, we're getting into the 7 figures to 7 figures, and these truly are the numbers behind your business that once you understand them can enable you to grow your business to 7 figures. And so that's a little bit of why we've called it what we've called it. And through this 3-part series, I'm going to break up these 7 figures so that we can go into them without overwhelming you with all this new information all at once. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to ask is basically, you're on a road, a journey in your business. And the question that I have for you is, are you on the road to prosperity or are you on the road to poverty? The truth of the matter is, and I know because I've been here, guys, is that we want to be on the road to prosperity, but somehow we keep taking this detour to the road to poverty. And that is really not where we want to be in life. It's not comfortable. It's not fun. There is nothing enjoyable about it. But as many entrepreneurs will find out, it's really hard to get off this path when you don't understand what keeps driving you down to the exit to poverty. And so that's part of one of those things that creates that roller coaster, right? Is that, you know, if you imagine a freeway and there's on-ramps and off-ramps, and every time we accidentally take this detour to poverty, you know, we get on the feeder road, we slow down, we go, oh my gosh, why are we here? Why am I here? And we get back on the freeway. Well, a lot of what we're going to talk about, you're going to find out that that's actually not knowing these 7 figures in your business is the reason why you keep taking these detours to poverty. So it's my committed mission to you is to help teach you how to stay on the freeway to prosperity, how to stay on the easy road and really be able to enjoy your business and enjoy the fun of really playing with these numbers. So with that in mind, I'm going to give you the choice. Now that I've kind of helped show you how you're getting off and on this freeway a lot, I want to know your choice. Are you going to consciously choose to be on this freeway of prosperity, and are you going to consciously choose the fact that you might have to do things a little differently in order to stay on the freeway? So I am going to assume that because you're here and because you're watching this, that you're with me, right? And really the best thing that I can do is help share that roadmap to success. Now, I love this little graphic because it's a little bit of the truth, is on our way to success, we have failure. And if we did not fail, we would not get to success, if that makes sense, because those points of failure that really teach us what we need to learn in order to make it to these big pinpoints of success in your business. And I also love the fact that this is a journey, right? This is not a static or a end-all be-all. We're talking about these different points of success, which can be different markers in your business or different growth points in your business. So I'm really excited that you're here and ready to kind of really get that real roadmap to success. I promise you what I'm going to share with you is it's secrets because nobody talks about it. This isn't what people are selling out in the marketplace, but it really is the true strength behind ensuring that you have success no matter what road you're on. So I wanted to start out a little bit and let you know about my why. And this is my family 28 years ago, 29 years ago, something like that. I was probably about 11. And we look pretty happy in this photo. I would say I know that house, and we were pretty happy in that house. But all in all, you know, I did not grow up in a family that was well off. I know we were definitely one of those paycheck to paycheck type of families where as long as the paycheck came in, we could manage. Couldn't really do a whole lot of extras. You know, we didn't do McDonald's as a young child. That was really like a once in a lifetime type of thing. But we were doing fine. My parents had always been entrepreneurial, and I probably picked up a lot of that growing up. But I remember this one business that they went into, and they were really having some great success at it. And I started noticing, because I was like, 11, 12 at the time, that we were able to do the little extras. We could take a road trip, we could order out for dinner. We could do things that we just hadn't been able to do, and it was actually a really great time in our life. That's until we, through one way or the other, an accountant wound up embezzling about $25,000 in sales tax money. My parents had started this last business probably, on a shoestring and a prayer, which a lot of us do, and they really didn't have the savings or the capital behind them to weather that storm. And that storm really represented a point in my life that was the downfall of my family. I can look at this point and look at that business and know, and I know things as an adult, but what I feel as a child is still quite there, and the fact that ruined our family. And the next 8 years that would come in my life were very dark, very, horrible. Not that I would wish on anybody in the world, and not that I feel the need to go into here. But it's the point that as a child, having grown up in this entrepreneurial household, I made the connection that that businesses kill families. And that stuck with me for a really long time. And I know that I, as a young child, decided that I would never do something that would put my family in jeopardy. That one decision as a 12-year-old took me a very long time to overcome, because it would be the one decision that would keep me away from entrepreneurism, which is where I belong, is where how my brain thinks, enjoy business. I just never planned to necessarily go into business for myself because of this event. Now, what's amazing, and I have to say, is that you may have heard the statistic or not, but most businesses fail due to a lack of capital in their business. In fact, 80% of the failures are due to a lack of money in their business. So my family wasn't weird, you know, and what happened to them wasn't strange. It was actually more the norm, but I understand, because as a child, the impact that it would have on my family. So if you kind of fast forward those 29 years to my family today, and this is my husband and my really crazy children, who, you know, got to have a fun photo, but that is their personality in and of itself. I do not live in a quiet household, but there are a lot of the reasons why I didn't go into business. I do like to travel, so I had to put those on there because I love to live life, and that comes into my why in a big way. So family is really important to me. Living life is really important to me. But as you will find out, as we got into even, you know, 2007, I opened up my first business, and it was a high-end interior design business. In 2007, we did fine for, or what I felt was fine for a first partial year. In 2008, we hit six figures, I think by the fourth month of the year, by April or May, and I just thought I was the shizzle. You know, I really did. I really sat there and didn't understand why people thought it was so hard to be in business. It's a bit of arrogance, a bit of ignorance, but I really was on cloud nine in 2008. And in 2009, when the markets crashed, so did we. I mean, I was a disposable commodity, and I hadn't built my business in such a way. Because you remember, like in 2007, I just opened a business. I didn't really plan my business. I didn't really know what it was to create a strong business. And so when the economy fell, suddenly all those mistakes and missteps and things that were not in alignment in my business became obvious, and we lost 50% of our business. I love this photo because this is really what I think marketing portrays, being down in your business, barely making it, struggling month to month. I don't agree with that. That woman's awful calm. Woman's awful calm. This is what needing cash in your business feels like to me. It is that combination of absolute anger at yourself, at the world, at potential clients, at everyone, coupled with the frustration and literally the depression that kind of comes along with this. I would be in this state for 2 years of my life. 2 years. And in those 2 years, I tried working harder. I tried doing things I saw other people do. I started going to conferences and reading books, searching, desperate for the answers that would turn this around. How did I get back to 2008 when everything was hunky-dory? And for 2 years, I really sought out the wrong answers to the wrong questions. And that's one of the reasons that I'm here today, because that's 2 years of my life where I lived in this stage, 2 years of my life that I can't get back. And it's one of the reasons that I'm here today with you, is to, if you are here, I want to get you out, and I don't want it to take 2 years. Now, my turning point was really that like I said, I was going to conferences. I was looking for all the answers that I could find, and I was sitting at this conference in 2010 and really had one of those kind of surreal moments. I was sitting at one of those tables right there watching the screen. I think we were on break, and I had just approved to pay for business cards, which left $500 in my bank. Payroll was due in 10 days. Did have staff, so I had that to contend with. I was in New York City paying for a hotel I don't really think I had the money to pay for. In fact, I think I probably paid for it personally, and then we were still stretching to pay for it. And the room started to spin for me, and I just really sat there and tried not to cry with all my heart, and I looked at everyone around and I said, how is it that they can make it work and I can't? After all, I was trying to do all the things that I saw them doing. I was trying to do all the things I had learned to do, but it still wasn't working. I'm not a quitter, but I was ready to quit. I felt like I had given it a good effort, but something in me said, no, this can work. And I sat there and I said, okay, this conference thing, it's not working for me. I need some help. And I did that. I said, you know what? I'm going to get some help, and I'm going to give it my all. Not that I haven't, but I'm going to give it my all. And if this doesn't work, I'm closing up shop, because I wasn't meant to be an entrepreneur. I basically worked myself into a near situation that my parents had put themselves into. And I felt really defeated. So I got help, because I think I was partly determined not to be my parents, to prove it wrong. And I turned my business around. Yay, right? And it was exciting, and it was crazy, because what I did was turn my business around 150% in just 6 months. I mean, that's nearly unheard of as a small business, to turn your business around and grow it 150% in 6 months, when I had struggled for 2 friggin' years to get to the right answers. And part of that is due to my coach at the time, Doug Whitney. And here we're actually standing with who owns Action Coach International. And I have just received the International Business Award for the fastest turnaround company for 2011. That is amazing. Now, it'd be a couple more years before all the pieces fell into place, and I got to be to a situation to open up a second business and really kind of turn that around. But this is that key turning point that told me that it was possible and that I could do it. And the wonderful factor is you can too, which is why we're here. So a couple of things. So let's first talk about the rules of the house. So we are on Facebook. We are on Google+. If you're here watching us, say hi, leave a comment. It's like we've been hanging out here all day waiting for you. So comment us. Let us know your questions. Amy's helping to moderate the different chats, because I do have like 4 windows up, but trying to be present with you here. But do comment and let us know. And if you're watching this as a recording, again, comment, let us know. It lets me know that you've left a message. I will pop out, come check in with you, and really just interact and help you learn. So if you've got questions, want to say howdy, and help us, don't keep us hanging. Get out there and just chat with us. So that's kind of the rules to the house. So our time together here is, I'm going to do my best to keep it brief. I know we're here for an hour, but I think we'll finish up a little bit early. And that was one of the reasons we structured this in a 3-part series, so that you could pop in and then be able to pop off and get back into your work day. But really, as I was mentioning before, is that I truly believe that if I was able to do these things with this knowledge that we're going to start sharing with you today, that you can do these things. And so as part of our time together, really what I'm doing is I'm paying it forward. The other part that I am sharing is I'm really helping to lay the foundations for the Blast of Cash Master Series. If you can get these little core structures to your business and really understand the 7 figures, then when you hear all of our experts on the Blast of Cash Master Series, it's going to click. You're going to see you're going to understand what we're talking about, and you're going to see almost instantly how you can really build your business in such a way, and the math that's going to make it work and make it really exciting. And I did say math and exciting in the same sentence. If you're like me, that's not always the case, but what we're going to show you is going to be really quite thrilling. So I'm going to share as much as I can. Please know that there's not enough time in our day for me to share it all, but I'm going to give you opportunities so that you can stay connected and participate with us on our Master Series and really be able to put this knowledge into action. So with that, this is for you. So really, if you're here to learn about how to use the 7 figures, but there's probably some reasons behind it. One of my favorite ones, or least favorite ones, is you probably have more month than money, right? A lot of the entrepreneurs that I see that need this information are dipping into the personal resources to fund their business. They're having to take out of their 401k, they're having to charge on their credit cards. They're having to do things because they have that belief that their business is worth it, right? And they have the strong desire to help make that be a reality. The other part, if you've got this cash roller coaster going on in your business, is probably that you are great at delivering to clients. Perfect, you've got a great product, you serve others well, but you don't understand the financial side of things. And so we're going to kind of go through that a little bit to help you understand. Very simply, I'm not a CPA, I am not an accountant, I have degrees behind me and a brain for business. All right, so I'm coming at it from that vantage point. I promise to make it easy and simple for you to get. So there's a couple of things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what the 3 most common mistakes are that entrepreneurs are making on this cash roller coaster. Remember, we talked a little bit about getting off the prosperity freeway with that kind of poverty detours and on-ramps. We're going to go into a little bit more of that. But I'm also going to promise you that you will hear throughout this series what the 7 most important numbers are and why you need to know them in your business, and that's going to be key. Then I'm going to help you tap into the power of knowing. We'll talk about this with our mistakes, but really and truly, this is where your power is in your business. So I want you to come along and really embrace it and own it. And then I'm going to start to share some of the secrets to really growing your business by 10, 50, even 150% in as little as just 6 months. And I promise you, once you start seeing the strategy behind this, you're going to understand how simple that really is. And I love simple. So give it there. So the first kind of cash drought mistake, those mistakes that keep us on the cash roller coaster, is that as entrepreneurs, we really focus on 3 things, right? And this makes sense to a lot of people. So we either focus on clients, sales, or profits. And we always want more, right? We want more clients, more sales, and more profits. That's actually a misconception to this as you get to know each of the 7 figures. But each of these things that are up on the chalkboard that our wonderful entrepreneur is looking at is actually the result of other actions, of other parts of your business. They're actually the result of the 7 figures that we're going to talk about. Okay? So if you look at it, that you can't really impact the result, that what you have to focus on and impact is the input, right? Because if you have good stuff in, good stuff comes out. Junk in, junk out. So really, when we only focus on the endpoints of these 3 segments in our business, we're only looking at the results. And that should start to open your minds to a couple of things, all right? And we're going to get it. That's our first mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make. The second mistake, this is our see no evil, right? I don't want to know. I'm afraid to know. Are the two biggest statements that we tell ourselves in our brains when it comes to our numbers. We say, I don't understand them. They don't mean anything. I don't want to know. You know, we may not say that, but we're thinking it. We feel that in our heart. Really, the thing is that we have no grasp of the reality. And as much as we worry about things, it's funny, we have this little mechanism in our brain that allows us to think things are better than maybe they necessarily are. And when you don't know your numbers, what's going to be happening to you in your business is that you're going to get surprises. You're going to get those cash crises, which I kind of liken to like an accident on your freeway, right? Suddenly you've got a fender bender and your engine has been crushed and you've got to repair your car before you can get back on that prosperity highway. The mistake here is that we don't bring in reality, you know, and we're not fully present and fully visual into our business. So imagine if you're driving along that same freeway, you're on your prosperity freeway, and you see an accident ahead. If you are looking for it, you should have time to move your lane and go around the accident, not become part of it. If you're driving on the prosperity freeway and your eyes are closed, you're going to smack dab into the back end of it, right? You can't help but have an accident. And that, in a lot of ways, is what some of the cash crises that we have in our businesses is. They were unplanned, we didn't know they were coming, and then we have to struggle to get out of them, right? We're in crisis mode in order to do that. So it's really the second mistake that business owners make, is that they don't understand that by being aware of their numbers, they actually avoid the cash crisis. You know, so you have to make a choice. Which side do you want to be on? Do you want to be that reactionary entrepreneur, always in a cash crisis and stressed out to beat the band? Or do you want to say, okay, I have to come to reality and maybe not be happy with where I am today, but because I can get such vision and clarity of what lies ahead of me on this prosperity, reactive. So this doesn't seem obvious to you when you're in it, but I promise you, it is one of the biggest mistakes that we make when we are sitting here trying to have a very successful business. The third mistake that we make is that we fell into the if you build it, they will come trap. I am sure you have a lovely business. I am sure that you are coming from a place of service, that your whole desire is to make your client's life easier. But the whole, like, do what you love and the money will follow, yes, that's helpful, but you've got to do a little bit of work, you know, put forth a little bit of effort, do some planning and some conscious efforts to move your business forward. You know, if you sell the tickets to get people in the door, right? And they're going to have a great time while they're there, but they're not just going to come because there's a stadium. And just in that same nature, your clients aren't going to come just because you have a business. I wish that was the case. We would all be millionaires and I wouldn't be here today. But the truth of it is that I need you to, if this is one of the mistakes that you're making, I need you to open up to the fact that you probably have to shift how you are doing some things. And we can do that very, not easily isn't the best word, but we can do that smoothly so that it works within who you are and you're still authentic and all those nice fun things. But I need you to see that there's the potential that you need to make a shift, right? That you might have to do more than just build it, okay? So we're going to talk about the 7 most important numbers next, and I want to kind of go over what they are. So what they are, and we'll kind of start in the top row, go from left to right, is first your leads coming. Our next image with the arrows and the cog is the conversion, right? We're going to find out that leads times conversions equals clients. That's what we're going to talk about today. Our next ones that we're going to talk about is your average dollar sale and your average purchases. Like, how many times does the average client purchase from you in a given period of time? Then we're going to go into profit margin. I just couldn't find one that said margin here, but basically your profit margin, okay, the percentage again of comparing your revenues versus your costs, okay, and what's left over. A lot of people don't plan to have stuff left over and don't know how much they should have left over, but it's going to be amazing to you if you can even grasp the concept that you can plan that. And then we're going to go into our last two numbers, and this is going to be your lifetime value of your customers over the course of the time. Are they worth? How much do they spend with you? And then we're also going to talk about a bit of your marketing money machine, as it were. These last two numbers really kind of come into that marketing machine. But we're going to talk about the cost of acquisition. So what does it cost for you to generate a client? If you know those items and then you can compare it to what a client is worth, what their value is to you, you can make some pretty cool decisions. I know marketing for a lot of people is very intangible. They have a hard time seeing the results. I'm telling you that that's possible. You just haven't been taught what to focus on, okay, and how to look at those numbers in a way that helps you make good decisions. So that's what I love about these numbers, is that they're really simple. You'll find out they're really simple. I'm going to share with you the math behind them and how to get them, and then I'm going to start to show you what happens when you are playing, when you start to increase your ability to improve the numbers. You're going to start to see what an explosive growth that can have for your business. So those are the 7 most important numbers. And before we get into some of the math, I know this is so much fun, but hang in there with me. I promise it's going to be easy. Is I need you to understand that 1% is huge. This is actually a phrase that I had learned from that conference that I shared with you from 2010. But I need you to really fully grasp the power of a 1%. And we'll show it on the next slide. But if you can understand and look at the 1%, 1% is really achievable. I think you'll agree with me. I mean, if you do, say amen, let us know. But 1% is doable. You probably could do 1% by just changing what you said in a day. It's that simple. But the power of it, I want to show, because I think there are times when we look at what's simple and what's easy to do in our business as not being worth doing. It's the same reason why our clients need to have a good investment for our services, because we have this psychological thing that doesn't value the 1%. I want to show you why you're killing yourself there. You're kind of cutting off your nose to spite your face by not really embracing the power of 1%. So let's get into why. Let me show you some of the numbers. All right, so here we have a handy dandy chart, and then our first column is really the 7 figures. So you can see leads, conversion percentage, average sale, revenues, net profit, customer lifetime value, cost of acquisition. I'm not going to worry about the last 2 right now because I want to go up, but it goes up as a result of number 3 and 4, and your relationship. And then number 7 is actually something that we want to decrease with a grain of salt. So we want to bring it down as long as its ROI is high. If we just go cutting and trimming, we again cut off our nose to spite our face, and we hurt the return on investment. So it's that's a kind of a different story that we'll tackle in a little bit. But what I want you to see is, like, I have some current numbers. I said, you know what, we're getting 10 leads. We convert 1 in 3. We receive 3 clients from there. Our average sale for each client is $1,200. They purchase from us 1 time to generate revenue of $3,600. Really easy math. And then the net profit says that we're essentially getting $360 left over as profit. Okay, I kept the numbers really small because I wanted you to see how easy this is. So if we were just to do a 1% increase, right? Not hard. You know, with the leads, I just rounded up because it's really hard to get a 10.01. So we're just saying we're going to get one lead. So, you know, this is more like a 10%, but we're going to get one lead. We're going to increase our conversion by 1%. That's going to generate 40% of a client. We all know that you're not going to generate 40% of a client. You're either going to generate a whole client or no client. But for math's sake, you know, we're just saying one more client. And then for each of those clients, we're going to increase our average sale by $12. Easy peasy. And then we're going to increase the average sale by 0.01%, which again is an average. So, you know, that's maybe one person buying one more time. What it does to our revenue here is astounding. It really gives us that 14% increase to our bottom line. That's huge. And I rounded up on the leads, but past that, you know, everything else there is easy. So that 1% increase that we maybe didn't think too much of, we discounted because we don't understand that from an exponential value, it actually is a 14% increase in our business. That's huge, huge. I don't know a single person that wouldn't take a 14% increase in their business today. Just join us for the Blast of Cash Master Series. Alone, you can achieve that, okay? Easy peasy. So kind of going on, and we're going to start talking about our first two numbers. So our first two numbers that we're going to talk about is the numbers that generate clients, right? And that's all we're going to talk about today. But I need you to understand that there are leads that can be converted that generate clients. So if you feel like you need to get more clients, quote unquote, that's not exactly what you need. What you either need is more leads, which is doable for most people, can be hard if you're getting a lot, and improve your conversions, okay? And there's just a little example of how you can get, you know, number of leads times conversions equals clients. And really what we're trying to do, when we put it in a visual form, is take more of our leads. How many of these guys can we convert into clients? These guys over here on the right, right? What we need is more and or better conversion. All right, you have to see where you're at to really be able to ascertain if you need more leads or better conversions, which one of those you need. But the math behind it, and we'll kind of go into that, but you can see is clients divided by leads equals conversion percentage. So you can get that number in there. So the lead math is super, 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 super simple. If you can count, you can do this. And that's all this is. It's just keeping track, right? And we're going to keep track of the calls, the emails, and the one-to-one contacts that we make with people who are interested, okay? I don't necessarily count everybody I talk to as a lead. They're more prospects. I should be engaging them in such a way to see if they're a lead when I'm with them. But I really classified leads as people who have expressed interest, okay? We haven't had big conversations, they're just interested. You may be going back and with trying to figure out how many leads you have, and I'll go into that a little bit. I want you to get to your best guess, and then from here on, I want you to measure. And I don't care if it is as simple as a big old sticky note sitting next to your computer that you just make ticks on, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. However you want to do this. I will let you know, though, that when it comes to what I want you to progress to is a simple little spreadsheet that also tells you how they came to see you, okay? So we can judge our marketing, right? And that'll get into the cost of acquisition and things like that down the road. But I want you to get to the point of keeping it simple, but just doing some measuring. And then we'll go kind of back over the conversion math. Again, really simple, is for right now, your conversion percentage in a lot of ways is a historical type of a number. I'm very future focused, but you need these kind of history numbers to be able to tell you how your performance is, so you can see if there's a problem that you need to address. So here, total clients divided by total leads, 50% conversion. What people don't understand is what their conversion number really means, so I'm going to add in a little bit here. And take this with a grain of salt. It's very subjective to where you are in your business, how much your product is priced, what the general lead time to a sale, as well as fulfillment time onto your product. So there's a lot that factors in here. So I'm going to talk in generalities. If you have a specific question, let us know, and I'll be happy to answer it on a case-by-case basis. But in general, if you're in the 50 to 60% range in conversion, you're probably converting really well. If you're at the 80% range, 80–90% range of conversion, you probably aren't charging enough. And if you are lower than 50%, it's either because you have an extremely high price point and it's been well priced and you're okay with that, or you need to work on some of your sales skills. So if you feel like you're the cheapest gig in town and your conversion rate is down at 1 and 2, or 10 and 20, 30%, you've got some issues with your sales. All right, that's just how you can use this one little number to really say, oh, this is the next thing I need to work on. Imagine how empowering that is to know what you need to work on. Is it my skills? Is it the price? Is it the clients? We always blame the clients, but it's really not their problem. It's really our problem. Knowing these numbers and things like your conversion percentage really helps you to be able to improve. So whereas before, when you didn't know where your conversion percentage is and couldn't take an educated guess about what the problem is behind it, you were getting off the prosperity freeway. You were taking that poverty road, but you didn't know why. This is one of those important numbers that really help to determine the health of your business. Get a quick drink of water while the slide decides to go forward. Here's the explosion. You've heard me start to talk about this. So just from our example, saying that we have 20 leads, we're converting 50% of them, and we're getting 10 clients. The next 3 columns talks about what happens if there is a 10% increase in each the lead and the conversion. What is the math that is generated? So you can see like the 10% increase here gives us 12 clients instead of 10. It's actually a 21% increase. You can see what happens in the 30%. I mean, how hard is it to get 6 new clients or 6 new leads? And then improve your conversion rate. Okay, now we have a 69%. If we get a 50% conversion, suddenly we've got our 50% increase in our leads and conversions. We're doing a great job of attracting potential clients, and we're doing a great job in selling. But now you see, I would go, our prices might need to go up at this point in time, right? But 125% is what that equates to just at the client level. We still have another 3 strong numbers that relate to our bottom line in our business. If you just had a 69% increase at this level, imagine what that starts to do to your bottom line. Now, the goal is really to get all of these numbers in such a way that it has you not necessarily working with more clients, unless you are in a volume business, but has you working with the right clients, getting paid at a high investment, high value level, so that you can do your best work and your clients can receive the best from you. I mean, if you look at these numbers, who out there wants these results? I mean, you're raising your hand at your house. I know you are. I can see you. Okay? That's what I'm talking about, is that we want these kinds of results. Remember how I said I grew my business 150%? I can guarantee you I did not have a 50% increase in my leads and conversions. I did, however, have those incremental increases throughout my business that resulted in the 150%. It's pretty cool. So let me tell you that you've probably been on the hard road. I like this quote because I think this even helps temper a little bit of what we've been talking about today, in that it is easier to double your business by doubling your conversion rate than by doubling your traffic. And that's a very profound statement because a lot of it can be very true. However, if you've got a low number of leads, you might need to work on increasing your traffic. You might need to get out more and see more people and be seen by more people. But at the same time, really that doubling factor of being better and converting those people, understanding your leads so well that you can bring them into clients is what is the growth factor and really is a lot easier in growing your business. So you've got a little bit of homework. This is the other reason I brought it down, because you've got to get some of this stuff in place. And I broke it down so it'd be really easy, and we're doing the easiest parts first, so you can thank me. But I want you just to get a guesstimate of your number of leads. This can be anywhere that if you're in a networking meeting, you can, ask them how many referrals you were given. Go back to your emails and see how many new requests came in through emails. Look at your calendar. How many new conversations did you have? Okay, those are 3 places that you can kind of go look and really be able to guesstimate the number of your leads. I'm going to tell you that you are going to miss a lot. You are not going to remember a lot of the people that didn't make it past the front door. And so the number that you have is going to be low, but know that you're going to track them from here on out. And like I said, I give you permission to keep it simple. I give you permission to keep it easy. I'm more interested in you changing small little habits for big results than for you to be perfect. Okay, so for right now, I just want you to track them from here on out. For the same period of time, count your clients. Really easy. You can go back to invoices. There should be easy ways to do that. And then just do the math. Figure out what your conversion percentage is. Okay, find out where you are today. That's the big goal. That starts to counteract, almost every single one of our mistakes that we talked about, right? And starts to put you onto the way of really being able to build your business. So in quite a few ways, I've given you the tools, right? I've given you the tools to put it together. Coming from construction, I know what these tools are. But I also know that not everybody knows what these tools are, nor do they know how to use them, when to use them, and where to use them, right? That hammer over there is not for every nail. So we're starting to give you the tools, and on our next couple of installments of the 7 figures, we're going to give you some more tools, right? But I really want you to understand that you need the tools first, and then you need to learn how to use them. So I'm going to first say, go ahead and put us on your calendar for the next series. I want you to come back. I want to hear from you about the numbers, how easy it was for you to find them, any aha moments that you had, and really come celebrate the fact that you got them down. I mean, come on, let's have a little party about this. So I want you to join us on Friday for our next live Google Hangouts at 1 o'clock Central again. We've already got some people signed up to go, so I'm excited to see you there. Again, if you're going to recording, this recording is available, and for our Blast of Cash series audience, this is part of the bonus, so they can get that. So I want to just say, go ahead and join us again, put it on your calendar, and we're going to kind of dig into the next part, which is sales and revenue, which is what a lot of us are focused on, and I'm going to kind of show you some magic in there. So with that, just go ahead and put us on your calendar, and so we can see you on Friday. But if you're not a member of the Blast of Cash series, I want to kind of tell you a little bit about it and invite you to come join us. Because really what it is all those tools that I'm giving you with these free Google Hangouts, it is great, and you need to know them, and they're the foundation for everything that our experts are going to share with the Blast of Cash Master Series. So we have a tremendous amount of experts. I actually just, we should be adding one more on today because she's so awesome, I couldn't keep her from you. But that will bring us to 14, 17, 18 experts that really are sharing their strategies and their secrets. And some of the things that you can expect is you can really expect to be able to find those clients who are ready to buy. I hear this is a major complaint from so many entrepreneurs. I don't believe it. We're going to show you why. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can actually find those people that are ready to buy from you, right? And that are ready to pay for you. That's the key. And then we're going to help encourage you to stop looking like everybody else. Remember, just like I was doing in that conference of looking around to all the designers that were in the room with me, feeling like they were able to do it and I wasn't, I was trying to be them. And that really isn't the way to succeed in small business. It might be the way to succeed in high school. It is not the way to do it in small business. And so we're going to help show you how to get past that. And because I recognize that there are a lot of people that are strapped for cash, that's why they need the blast of cash, I wanted to bring you some systems and tips and tools that are all about delivering more value to more clients without you spending a red cent. We've got one expert that shares an amazing idea. Once I heard it, I already shifted things in my business, because just when you have money doesn't mean that you need to overspend either. But you're going to be amazed about how just some shifts in how things get done and how you can process it will really start to show you the opportunities that you have to be able to grow your business without you having to spend the money. And then, again, because the Blast of Cash is all about that, and that's our promise, we have experts that are going to show us how to get 10%, a 50% boost to your income in 30 days or less. I have at least 3 experts that if you put their stuff into play would fulfill every bit of this bullet. That's pretty darn cool, okay? And then, because I believe that cash problems are inherently bigger than we think they are, and that cash and money coming into our business has an opportunity to leave at any point in our business, I really have brought in some experts that are going to help us patch those kind of invisible leaks in our systems that we don't even realize we're doing to ourselves. So those are some of the secrets and strategies that you can expect to join us on the Blast of Cash Master Series. And I promise you, these are the 6- and 7-figure strategies to growing your business. I fully believe that you cannot be in even the most minimal level of wealth unless you're into the 6 figures. I've seen it. I see it in the numbers. You're working way too hard if you're under 6 figures, and it's my passion to get you working the right way so you can live life. That's really what we're here about, so you can spend more time with your family and feel great about it. That's what I'm here for. So I promise you, I have pulled a lot out of our experts, and as part of that, because I love to over-deliver, I've been counting them. I've been writing them down as we go along, and I've been talking to our experts, and I promise you, there are over 50 tips and tricks. I mean, outside of what our speakers are coming to us for, I'm asking them for more. I'm like, what do you do in your business? You know, because sometimes what we teach is only a fraction of what it is that we do in our business. And so I really just dug in there, and this path to cash. You're going to have some interesting revelations there. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I want you to hear them for yourself and to absorb them, but it's going to be pretty cool, all these tips and tricks that we're sharing with you. But we also have some bonuses. So like I mentioned at the beginning, these series that we're doing is part of the bonuses, part of making sure that the time that you're investing with us, and I said time because it's free, complimentary, no charge. I know, I'm crazy. But the time that you're investing with us, I want to make sure it's worth every second, right? And so one of the things that I've included is the 7 figures to 7 figures calculator. It is actually an Excel spreadsheet that I've put together so that as we work our numbers, as we go through this series, you're going to be able to plug in your numbers and see what a 10% growth would mean, a 30% growth, a 50% growth, to see it explode on paper so that you truly understand what's possible for you. Now, it's only about the members of the blastofcastseries.com. And believe me, I think that's worth it in and of itself, just to make it easy and get the scary away from the math. So I've been working this with my clients. I can tell you how enlightening it is for them and how much of a shift I see in nearly every one of them just by being able to put their numbers into this calculator. But wait, there's more. I feel like an infomercial. I'm just kidding. So we're going to give you some instant access because the series doesn't start until the 22nd. It's a live webinar with all of our guests, so it'll be kind of given to you over 4 days, and then we recorded webinar, sorry, we'll launch the episodes over the 4 days, and then we do a live Q&A on Friday, because again, it's like I'm giving you the foundations here. I'm going to give you the how to do these things, and then I want you to have the opportunity to talk to our experts and really ask them these questions. So we'll do another Google Hangout. You'll be able to submit questions, and based on the questions, we'll determine the guests that are on, and we'll spend 90 minutes just really answering as many questions as we can to be able to do that. And then there's a surprise, because I absolutely love giving and giving freely. Once you register and claim your spot, you'll actually, the next page you'll see is your surprise. So I'm not even going to tell you what it is because I want you to take advantage of it. It is a pretty amazing gift that's really designed to have you really keep that this Blast of Cash series is going to give you and maintain it over a time period. So I want you to get this special surprise. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to say that in order to do that and get all of those nice fun bonuses, just go to the blastofcashseries.com. Got a little video there to greet you. It'll tell you a little bit of some of the things we talked about today, but it'll also just tell you a little bit more of what we're going to do. It's super simple, completely complimentary to log in and claim your spot, and then you'll get your little surprise. So we did actually make it the full hour. Thank you so much for being with us here on that, and I'll kind of leave you with a little bit of inspiration. So love this quote. It probably defines my spirit in a very good way, but it's basically that I choose to be unstoppable. I am bigger than my worries and concerns. The strength of others inspire me daily. I focus on my goal and I trust my intuition and live a courageous life. That was a great quote for today. And so I want to invite you to live a courageous life, to become unstoppable in your business, and join us at the blastofcashseries.com, where we're going to take this even further. So with that, I'll say goodbye. Thank you, and be sure to join us on Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, at 1 o'clock Central. Thanks all.